Alright guys, in this one we're going to do a full fish room tour. So we have new fish, we have breeding project updates, we have growth updates, we have so many things going on in the fish room right now that I've got loads to show you. So we're doing a full-on fish tour. I'm also going to show you some of the new plants as well. So, but it's predominantly going to be about the fish and every tank we have in the fish room. So let's get right into it. Let's start off at this side of the fish room. So obviously this tank here, we have got some new fish in there that you've not seen. They're not really new for me, but you haven't seen them. So we're going to talk about them in a minute. The one down below is my nightmare tank. I hate it at the moment. Loads of stuff going on in there. And this one has got my young Cribroherus longimanus in, which have grown so much. And then we've got the box that contains all the Endlers in, so we'll get to that. So we'll do this side of the fish room first. We'll also talk about what's going on in this corner. So let me make it bigger. So this corner we was going to put, we were going to extend the stand, wasn't we, and put a couple of rows, maybe 3 or 4 rows of tanks in there. But I'm not doing it because, as you can see, the houseplant bug has got me. Now, I've actually lost count of how many houseplants I've got, because I've got these in here, but I've got them all over the house and in the summer house. So I think I'm over 50. So as you can imagine, the houseplant bug has got me. I'm just waiting for another one of these stands that's going to go here so I can start bringing the other plants in. Check out my Tide Constellation, my big one. Got a baby one there and another baby one there. And then I've got plenty of other stuff. I've got some, look at that big alocasia. Anyway, what we're talking about is the tanks. We're not going to put tanks in this corner. I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing now. I'm just going to do a nice plant jungle, which you saw in the other video anyway. But the fish room will basically be this side and this side. So we'll feature these tanks and this side after we've done the other side, and then obviously I'm going to get a tank in that corner. But anyway, what's going on here? Now, we've got plants everywhere, guys. Look, we've just got plants everywhere. Massive pothos right in front of me tank. So this tank is the new fish. So we'll show you these first, and these are the Geophagus steindatneri. Let me get you closer. So there's a group of 8 in here. I have done water changes today and they're a bit shy, so we might have to come back to them. But if you look behind the filter, I've got one of my pairs of bristlenose, calico bristlenose, and check out the side. Can you see them? I'm not sure whether you can see them or not. The size of their young. There's one coming up just there on the side of the filter, and there's some behind it. They're working on all the algae in this tank. But anyway, let's talk about these Geophagus steindatneri. There's 2 over there as well. So, do you remember, let me pan you back, do you remember when I said that I had plans for this tank? It was probably 2 months ago. I mentioned it in one of my videos, and the plan was, well, this is nowhere near the finished plan, but it's part of it. So I wanted to put a group of either Geophagus steindatneri or some Geophagus, maybe altifrons, or some other types. But if you watch my fish room tour in Tameside Aquatics, you'll know that I came across this big group of steindatneri, and they are absolutely epic, guys, honestly. Obviously they're hiding, there's 8 of them in there. These 2 are the smallest. Let's get a closer look. You can see them under the wood. These 2 are the smallest, but actually these 2 are the most colourfulest at the moment as well. We'll come back to this tank, guys. We're going to go down below and talk to you about what's going on down there. And I mentioned that I hate this tank. Yeah, I hate this tank. So, I've had nothing but problems in this tank. And if you think back, how many times have I moaned about this tank? So, what's in here? So there's a group of Braziliensis. There is an Aquidens, 2 true parrots, and there's a female convict. I've had to separate the convicts because They're just brutal no matter where I put them. As you know, as convicts go, they just don't stop breeding. And they've battered my Braziliensis. So if you look at my Braziliensis, they're not in great shape. So I've took the male out and I've shoved him in the Waru tank for now. I've also had issues with the Big True Parrot. So he's actually had lateral line erosion. And some of the other fish have touched upon a bit of it. So I've not had much luck in this tank. Big, massive shout out to Graham at Wharf, who gave me so much support and help with trying my best to deal with it. So gave me some good advice and I treated, and hopefully we've kept it at bay. So you'll never get rid of lateral line erosion, but you can almost try to control it if you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't like this tank. I hate everything about it. I hate the fish in it. I know some people might gasp the fact that I hate True Parrots, but I just hate this tank, and it's me being open and honest. There's also 3 woodcats. Can you see one in the reflection there? There's 3 of them in there, and then there's an L67. L67, it's not an L67. I think it's an L167 Weberei Pleco. So yeah, that's what's going on in this tank. I don't like it. So yeah, that's all I can say on that matter right now. There you go, they're out and about. There they go. Group of 8, absolutely stunning. And actually, I have had breeding action. I mean, I have had them for a while now, but I've had breeding action in this tank. So I've seen wigglers, and they don't last 5 minutes, but yeah, they are buzzing, aren't they? What a great group of fish they are. Let me just show you the Cribro Harris, because what I want to show you these is because look how much these have grown. Do you remember when I did the unboxing? If you haven't watched the unboxing, go and check it out, because you'll see just how much these fish have grown. They came to me pretty much as fry, but they've grown loads, so they're doing really well. I have moved them to this tank. They were in quarantine when you last saw them. There's some more over here, and yeah, they've grown really well. Anyway, let's just talk about this tank. So again, let me pull it back. So what I was saying about this tank is the plans that I had for it. So obviously I wanted to get a group of Geophagus, and I'd planned on getting either these or something else. Saw these, snapped them up. I want to get some wild caught angels, right? So preferably I would like Ultim angels, but I'm scared to death of using Ultim angels with my water. Now, I've been speaking to Spud at Urmston, and he can get me some tank bred ones, which would be a better option for me other than using the wild ones. And what I would also like to do is probably put some Corydoras in here, a nice group of Corydoras. And while I'm filming this video, I am actually going to the auction the next day, so maybe I might see some Corydoras there. I don't know, but I think I'll put a group of Corydoras in here and some wild caught angels, and I will get the scape looking a lot better. Let me just pan you in. There's my male calico bristlenose pleco. He's the dad to all the hundreds of babies that I have around my fish room right now. And there is the group of Steindachnerai. So that is this. Oh no, I've not showed you the endlers, have I? So let's go down and have a look at the endlers. Alright, so they've gone mad. They've bred for England. There's so many young in this tank. I don't know if you can see the young, but I've got loads of them. So I could do with maybe getting these in a big tank and sorting them out, because you don't get to enjoy them enough in this box, because obviously you're looking from above. So I have had a few people ask for some of these, so I'll let the fry grow out a bit, and what I'll probably do is gift these to a few people that have asked, and then take some to the shops when I visit the shops, because they're a good endler, Santa Maria endlers. They're a pure strain endler, so you know they'd be good. But as you can see, they're breeding like mad, and there's still some fat females, so they're obviously pregnant. And yeah, they're not. Listen, the babies are doing well, so they're doing really well in here. But anyway, guys, that is definitely this side of the fish room. So let me just pan you back again. So we featured this side now. What we'll do is we'll move on to the other side of the fish room, then we'll go out in the house. Just check that big male out there. That's my dominant male there. He's a beauty. Such a beautiful group that, isn't it? Pan you back. So yeah, we will go and do the rest of this fish room and then we'll move on into the house. Tell me what you think about my plant collection, or should I say my plant addiction. It's one of them, isn't it? It's either a collection or an addiction. In my case, probably an addiction, to be fair, but I'm okay with it. I can own it. Tell me what you think, guys. Anyway, let's get on to the other side of the fish room. So we are going to look at this side of the fish room now. So in this tank we've got all my earth eater type fish. Down below we've got the waru, the Thomasii cichlids, and the male convict is in there now, as mentioned before. We've got that planted tank, and we'll talk a little bit about this corner and what my future plans are. But we're going to look in here first. So this is the earth eater tank. This is a very special tank. I do love it. Look at those albino heckelite. How gorgeous are they? They are real standout fish. We've got our group of Pyrocephalus, we've got our Altifrons, we've got our Girapari, and we have got our Balzini, and then little Apistogramma pair, which are really stunning as well. That Anubias is growing really well, but they do eat it, so they munch on it, but it hasn't stopped it from growing. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then we've got our Pothos up here, and we've got our Adansonii, which has dropped down. So yeah, and this big echolite, look at that. What a fish that is. That is stunning, isn't it? The colour, the blue in the tail is fantastic. Now, with this tank, it's been like this for ages. As you know, I don't really get any breeding action. There's a little bit of fighting, not too much, but we get some fighting. I would say, obviously, my favourite fish are these albino heckelite. These are really stunning. I love them. There's 3 decent sized ones, and then we've got 2 of the smaller ones. But yeah, absolutely amazing, this tank. I do love it, and the good thing is I think that they get on really well. I don't get no bad things going on in here. Look at that female. Isn't she stunning, that female Apistogramma? Lovely fish. There is a Pleco in here, which I've showed you a few times if you've seen my videos. Oh, there he is, look. Blending in really well into that wood. So yeah, that's that tank. I did say that I would talk about this corner, which is an absolute mess. This corner is disgusting, isn't it? So I need to get that pump up high on a shelf, and then I could probably get a tank in here. I could get a 2x2, maybe by 18 high or something like that. But I just dump things in this corner at the moment. So, but that's an option to add another tank to the fish room. Let's get down below and let's do an update on these waru, and let me tell you how they're doing. So as you can see, the tank is so much cleaner. I eventually cleaned it, removed most of the algae, missed a little bit here and there. I mean, I've even left a bit of a patch here, but absolutely thoroughly cleaned it. Now, we are talking about these in the last video, spawning. Now, that was their 3rd spawn, and again, didn't really come into fruition. Now, a lot of them went off, so again, I'll say it again, I've either got 2 females or it's just not happening if this one is a male. Now, that one is definitely a female. I know that for a fact, but we'll keep giving them a go. We'll keep seeing what happens, and then maybe, hopefully, one day we will get some action. But I do love them. There's that convict. And this group of Thomasii cichlids are absolutely beautiful. Probably need to colour up a bit more, but yeah, anyway, they're really good. But the main part of this tank is obviously this pair of waru, and if they are females, it's fine. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. We enjoy them anyway. See this white thing on the mouth there? This fish gets this loads, so it comes and then it goes, comes and it goes. But yeah, I don't think it's a problem. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Like I say, she's had it a few times over the last year, maybe. But yeah, anyway, that's the Waru. So we're going to move on to the planted tanks. Let's go and have a look at the planted tank before we head on into the house. So just to finish off on the tanks in the house, obviously we did videos on these not that long ago. This is my Waru stroke Honduran Red Point tank, and obviously we have got 3 breeding pairs of Honduran Red Points, and there has been a time when all 3 have had fry at the same time. So we got really lucky there by getting 3 pairs, and I don't even mentioned it earlier on in the video, but I'm thinking of maybe putting a Cribro Harris Longimanus when they get a bit bigger in here, but who knows, it could be a Cribro Harris Longimanus Honduran Red Point tank, and then we'll do something with the Waru. But big 5-foot tank for those 2 species, I think would be a good choice in my opinion. It's just whether they get on or not. Obviously they all start breeding in the same tank, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because obviously then I could move the Endlers up to that other tank that they're in. So yeah, but anyway guys, this is the tank with the Waru and the Honduran Red Points in. Let's move into the other room. To finish off, we are going to look at my community tank, and there's that big Kentia palm that I showed you in the last video, or the last short, I can't remember which one it was now, but that's absolutely massive, isn't it? I love it. Anyway, we're talking about this tank. So again, no change. This is my Angels tank. It's got Laticara Araguaia and a big group of Black Neon Tetras, which are absolutely plump as anything. And then we've got our single checkerboard cichlid in there, plus 2 albino Hoplo catfish. And there's all at Ormwort. When I say there's all at Ormwort, you probably haven't seen that video. You may have done from the auction, but I don't know. But anyway, either way, I bought a load of Ormwort. You'll either know or you don't. But yeah, anyway, that's the community tank, and it's doing really well, like I said. It's a bit of a favourite, this. People love this tank, but it is where people walk through the house. I did move the Boston Firm off there because I just thought it was too big. It was massive. It needs to be on a bigger tank, really. And yeah, anyway, guys, I think that's it for the fish room tour. We've done everything, and we've got lots going on. So we're going to wrap this one up now. So guys, another long video. Obviously, I wanted to get everything into that one video and show you everything that was going on. Lots of stuff to come from those Waru and those Cribro Harris Longimanus. Do I, don't I put them in that tank with the Honduran Red Points? But also, I just want to point something else out, guys, that I not mentioned. You may have noticed the quality of the videos has not been as good as it used to be, and that's because I dropped my phone in salt water a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, and it's just not been the same ever since. My microphone won't work, so I need to get a new phone. So we'll be getting a new phone hopefully in the next few weeks. So I'm going to go for the Google Pixel Pro 9, is it, or something like that. I've seen lots of pictures and videos of people doing it. I have got a camera that cost me a lot of money, but I don't know how to set it right. So honestly, trying to set it for filming fish, I'm a technophobe, guys. That's why I just picked my phone up. So if anybody knows how to use, I think it's a Canon M50 Mark II. If anybody knows how to use it and to film fish, then give me a shout, because I'd love to learn, to be honest with you. But anyway, guys, I'm going on with myself. Just want to say a massive, massive thank you, as always. I appreciate everybody's support, and I'll see you all on the next one.